Good morning. So it is Monday, the 9th of March 2020, and let's have a look at the global indices. And of course, they've actually already been pushing, heading lower. There's rumors of limit down on a couple of the exchanges. So it appears as though the planets had the weekend to panic and stew, likely about the coronavirus, and there's shortages of toilet paper. There's all these different memes coming out on the internet, and so likely that market open and everything is just kind of going haywire. But it's also very important to maintain some perspective. So for the beginner traders, they should absolutely be staying out of the market. The professional traders are exiting the market. The volatility is obviously very aggressive at the moment and very dangerous, so there's no clear direction as to what the market wants to do, although it is heading lower. Just to give you some perspective here, we're really going to be heading into, my expectation for now at least, is starting with the Dow being actually of the US indices being the weakest one, and so this one is starting to come down to test these support levels, and really 24,000 is going to be a key level for it to test this week. That's what I'm looking for. So last week what I was looking to see is, did the market manage to kind of stay where it was? Did it manage to form a foundation? And so just looking at the weekly chart, you could see that although we ended up with a little bit of a bullish candle, it attempted to come up, came into historical support resistance and got pushed back down, but closed with a bit of a green candle. However, this morning already is starting to gap down and head lower, starting to test these levels of support. So again, there are a lot of levels of support in this area, and what I'm looking for this week again will be the same thing again, is looking for the market to see if it's able to form a bullish candle and manage to find some support in this area. So really all of this is because what I'm looking for is to determine whether we are now at the beginning of the start, at least, of the market, the next perhaps bear market, but that again takes a while. Although the market is dropping precipitously on a daily time frame, on a monthly it's not really. So the market may still recover, then go back up and then fail, and then over the next few months it starts to head lower. So what we are seeing is obviously a big correction overdue. We're also seeing obviously panic at the moment, and so the market is dropping a lot lower. The other thing that I'm aware of is there's a lot of buy orders sitting at these key levels, and therefore bounces will be occurring as we go. So the first thing I'm looking for this week is to see if the market can hold at these levels and perhaps recover. And also how far it actually goes before it actually closes. So in other words, if it really drops right down below these levels, then obviously that's quite a significant signal to the market that it is obviously not in a great state. All right, so what that means on a monthly perspective is, it's already starting to break the lows of the most recent lows here, but if we start to drop down to these levels, I mean, obviously in terms of history, that'll be the most significant drop that we've ever had in a single 30 days, and that'll be quite significant. That is likely then to find it very difficult for the market to recover all the way back up to here throughout the rest of the year. Having said that, so my first expectation is to see them try to stay where they are. If they do manage to drop lower, then that obviously supports the idea. If I am going to be taking any intraday opportunities, they'll be incredibly aggressive. I'll be looking to take profit and exit, especially ahead of these key support levels. It's going to be similar on the S&P 500. This one coming down into these recent key levels towards 2,750, 2,700, and looking to see if it can hold really. So again, I'll be looking to see, my first expectation, kind of innocent until proven guilty, is to see the market really attempt to stabilize and to find a way to kind of recover from here. And so that's just based off historical experience as well. Then looking at the NASDAQ. This is a daily chart, so it's not really going to update until tomorrow, but right now price should be coming back down into these levels here and testing these lows back into the moving averages here, this being the most bullish of the bunch. And so I can also use that as a frame of reference. If the most bullish is able to kind of recover, it'll be the leading index and give us an indication, or give me an indication of what I expect the market to do. Just looking at the FTSE, this one obviously very bearish, coming back down again into these levels of support, so be looking to see how it manages that. The DAX as well, coming right down into these lows. So basically looking at it on a monthly perspective gives me a sense of where these levels are and where I can expect price to attempt to stay above. And so again, as I said, even though there are some big drops and some increased volatility, I'd be staying out of this. For the most part, it's incredibly dangerous for traders and for trading, and then looking to see how the market manages to recover. I'm not necessarily expecting it to continue to just free fall. That is not impossible, of course, but is the least likely. So I'm sort of leaning 60-40 towards the market, attempting to find a base and try to climb back up throughout this week, even if it does head lower between today and tomorrow, looking to see and test those support levels, with of my 60-40, the other 40 being that it does continue to drop, which is very rare. It's not really something that's happened historically, and that's why I'm not leaning towards that just at this point. But in itself, that will be a message as to what to expect. So if there's anything worthwhile noting on this, I'll update this later on in the week. But for the most part, again, it's incredibly cautious, for me at least, staying out of the markets with this increased volatility. I anticipate big bounces off key levels, and also I'm looking, first of all, as I said, to see the market sort of stabilize or attempt to stabilize, and then we'll see where it is by Friday. So similar to last week, looking to see what happens there, and also to see how low it actually does manage to go over the coming days.